The alien woman blocked his path and said, "I owe you a life." Human Sam never expected to find himself face to face with a Xerillian on his way home from the night shift at the spaceport. The 7-foot-tall alien with iridescent purple skin and forearms stood firmly in the dimly lit alley. Her large silver eyes reflected the moonlight as she stared at him. "What do you mean?" Sam asked nervously. His hand moved slowly toward the small defense tool in his pocket, though he knew it would do. "Little against a Xerillian. My name is Cora," the alien woman said. Her voice had an unusual melodic quality that all Xerillians shared. "I was on the transport ship that crashed last moon cycle. You pulled 3 of my people from the wreckage." Sam relaxed, slightly remembering the incident he had been first on scene, when the small Xerillian scout ship malfunctioned and crashed just outside the colony borders. He had acted on instinct, pulling survivors from the burning wreckage before the authorities arrived. That was nothing, he said. Anyone would have done the same. Cora shook her head, making the luminescent tendrils that served as her hair sway gently. "No, they would not. Your people and mine have been at odds since first contact. Many humans would have let us burn." She stepped closer, lowering her voice. "Xerillians honor life debts above all else. I have tracked you for days to make my offer." Sam swallowed hard. "What offer? I will serve as your guardian for 1 full cycle of your Earth sun," Cora said, placing one of her 4 hands over her chest where Sam assumed her heart might be. "I have skills that would benefit a human." Sam stared at her in disbelief. "No thanks necessary, really. I should get going." He tried to step around her, but Cora moved with surprising speed, blocking his path again. "You misunderstand, human. This is not a request. It is my sacred duty. I cannot return to my people until this debt is paid." "Great," Sam muttered. Just what he needed, an alien bodyguard following him around the colony. His supervisor at the port. Denise would have a field day with this. "Look, Cora, I appreciate the gesture, but I live a boring life. I load cargo at the port. I eat at the same diner. I sleep in a tiny apartment. Nothing exciting happens." Cora tilted, her head studying him. "Then it shall be an easy debt to repay." Sam sighed, realizing he might not have a choice in the matter. Xerillian customs were notoriously rigid, and trying to refuse might be seen as an insult. "Fine, but you can't just follow me everywhere." "People will notice I can alter my appearance," Cora said. She touched a small device on her wrist and her skin shifted from purple to a more human tone. Her extra set of arms seemed to vanish and her height reduced until she looked almost human aside from her unusual eyes. Sam shook his head in amazement. That technology was far beyond anything humans had developed. "So the rumors are true. Your species can camouflage." "Not camouflage," Cora corrected. "Temporary molecular restructuring. It is painful but necessary sometimes." Sam felt a twinge of guilt, knowing she was willing to endure pain to honor her debt to him. The next morning, Sam arrived at work with his new alien companion. Cora had insisted on coming with him, saying that a life debt meant never leaving the saved one unprotected. "Cora, this is ridiculous," Sam whispered as they approached the security checkpoint at the port. He had given her some of his old clothes, which hung loosely on her disguised form. "What if someone realizes? You're not human. No one will notice if we do not draw attention," Cora said calmly. Her accent was still noticeable, but not obviously alien. Denise approached them, clipboard in hand, her eyebrows raised at the sight of Sam with a companion. "Well, this is new," she said. "Who's your friend?" "This is Cora," Sam said quickly. "She's visiting from out of town." Cora extended her hand the way Sam had taught her earlier. "Pleased to meet you," she said. Denise shook her hand, then turned to Sam. "We have a shipment from Proxima B arriving in an hour. Get Bay 4 ready." As Denise walked away, Sam exhaled in relief. That was close. The day progressed without incident. Sam was surprised at how quickly Cora adapted to human customs. She even helped him move cargo using her disguised strength to make the work easier. At lunch, they sat in a quiet corner of the port cafeteria. "Your work seems important." Sam, Cora observed. Sam laughed. Nothing I do here is important. I move boxes from ships to storage. That's it. Cora shook her head. You are wrong. The goods you handle connect worlds. Your hands touch items that travel across stars. You are a link in a great chain. Sam had never thought of his job that way. It was oddly comforting. Their peaceful lunch was interrupted by a blaring alarm. Attention, all personnel, security breach in Sector 7. Unauthorized access to restricted materials. Sam stood up. That's near the antimatter storage. If someone is messing around there, we should leave. Cora said firmly. This is a security matter. No, Sam replied. We're closer than the security team. I know a shortcut. Before Cora could protest, Sam was moving toward the source of the alarm. She followed close behind, muttering something in her native language that sounded like frustration. They reached Sector 7 and found the door to the antimatter storage partially open. Inside, two figures in maintenance uniforms were removing containment units. Stop, Sam shouted. That stuff is highly unstable. The intruders turned. One pulled out a weapon. Sam recognized as military grade, not something maintenance workers would carry. Cora moved with incredible speed. She dropped her human disguise, her body shimmering as she returned to her true Xyrillian form. She placed herself between Sam and the weapon the intruders fired. Their shots hit Cora, who absorbed the impact with a grunt of pain. Her purple skin glowed where the energy weapon had struck. With all four arms now visible, Cora disarmed both intruders in seconds, pinning them to the ground. Security forces arrived moments later, stunned to find a Xyrillian subduing the saboteurs. After hours of questioning by port authorities, Sam and Cora were finally released. The incident was classified as an attempted terrorist attack. The antimatter would have caused devastating damage had it been removed from its containment. You saved everyone, Sam said as they walked back to his apartment. Cora had resumed her human disguise. Though she moved stiffly, the injuries from the energy weapon still healing. Was fulfilling my debt, Cora replied. But you endangered yourself unnecessarily. Why did you run toward danger? Sam shrugged. I guess I did what anyone would do. Cora stopped walking and turned to face him. You keep saying that, but evidence suggests otherwise. Most beings run from danger, not toward it. You are unusual. Sam felt his face grow warm under her silver gaze. Perhaps, Cora continued, my debt will take longer to repay than I anticipated. Humans are far more complex than our studies indicated. Sam smiled. Maybe that's a good thing. Cora tilted her head thoughtfully. Perhaps it is. In the following days, Cora became a constant presence in Sam's life. She quickly learned human customs and helped around his small apartment. Despite her alien nature, Sam found her company surprisingly comfortable. Word spread about the Xyrillian who had stopped the antimatter theft. The colony governor, Penny Marsh herself, requested a meeting with Sam and Cora. This is a bad idea, Sam said as they approached the government building. People already stare at us enough. It would be rude to refuse such a request. Cora replied. She had maintained her human disguise in public, but Sam could tell it was becoming increasingly uncomfortable for her. The governor was a tall woman with short gray hair and a stern expression. She studied Cora with obvious curiosity. So you are the Xyrillian who saved our port, she said. I merely protected Sam as my duty requires. Cora responded. The governor turned to Sam. And you, Mr. Jones, ran toward danger rather than away from it. Sam shifted uncomfortably. I was just in the right place. Governor Marsh leaned forward. Our intelligence suggests the saboteurs were working for a group called Terra Prime. They believe humans should have no contact with alien species. They've been causing trouble throughout the colonies. Sam frowned. But why target our port? We mostly handle agricultural shipments. Precisely, the governor said. Your port processes food supplies for mixed species. Colonies, it would be a symbolic target. Cora stood straighter. I will continue to protect Sam. The governor nodded. We appreciate that. But there's more. Terra Prime has cells throughout the system. We believe they're planning something bigger than the port attack. Sam felt a chill run down his spine. What do you need from us? Just be vigilant, the governor said. and perhaps consider allowing Cora to speak with our intelligence division. Her insights on Xyrillian matters could be valuable. Sam looked at Cora, who nodded slightly. I will share what I can, she said. As long as it does not interfere with my duty to Sam. The governor seemed satisfied. She dismissed them with a wave, and Mr. Jones. Perhaps consider a position with colony security. You have good instincts, as they left the government building. Sam noticed Cora was unusually quiet. Is something wrong, he asked. Cora hesitated. The governor's request concerns me. Xyrillians do not typically share information with other species. Sam stopped walking. Why did you agree then? Cora looked at him with those silver eyes. I believe you would have wanted me to. Your people have a saying. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Sam smiled. You've been studying human culture. Cora nodded. I find it fascinating. Your species contradicts itself constantly. You claim to value peace yet prepare for war. You speak of equality, yet create hierarchies. You fear the unknown, yet constantly seek it. And what do Xyrillians value? Sam asked. Order. Cora replied. Simply life in balance. The greater harmony. They walked in silence for a while before they reached Sam's apartment. Cora suddenly stiffened. Sam, we are being followed, she whispered. The three masked figures from Terra Prime surrounded Sam and Cora in the narrow alley. Their leader stepped forward, gripping the stun baton tightly. Leave now, Cora warned, her voice dropping to a dangerous tone. I do not wish to harm humans. The Terra Prime members laughed. You think we fear you, alien? Sam looked around for something to use as a weapon. He spotted a length of metal pipe near a trash bin. The first attacker lunged at Cora with the stun baton. She dodged with surprising grace for her size. One of her forearms caught the attacker by the wrist, twisting until they dropped. The weapon, Sam grabbed the pipe and swung it at the second attacker. The metal connected with their shoulder, causing them to stumble back. The third attacker pulled out a small device and threw it at Cora. It stuck to her skin and discharged an electric pulse. Cora roared in pain as the electricity coursed through her body. Her skin flickered between her natural purple and her human disguise. Sam rushed to her side, but the first attacker had recovered and tackled him to the ground. They struggled, Sam trying to keep the attacker's hands away from his throat. Despite the pain from the electric device, Cora managed to rip it from her skin. She grabbed the attacker on top of Sam, lifting them easily with her upper arms. The commotion attracted attention. People from nearby buildings began to shout. Someone must have called security, because sirens wailed in the distance. The Terra Prime members realized they were about to be caught. The leader shouted a command and they fled down the alley, disappearing into the maze of streets. Cora set Sam on his feet. Are you hurt? She asked, her voice tight with concern. I'm fine, Sam replied, touching a cut on his forehead. Just a scrape. What about you? Cora's skin still flickered between forms. The device damaged my molecular stabilizer. I cannot maintain human form for long. They needed to get somewhere safe before security arrived. If Cora was found in her true form, there would be too many questions. Sam took her arm. Come on, my apartment is close. We need to hurry. They managed to reach Sam's small apartment just as Cora's disguise failed completely. Her 7-foot Xyrillian form seemed enormous in the tiny living space. Sam searched through his toolbox for something that might help. I don't know if I can fix your device. Cora examined the small wristband. It requires specialized equipment, but perhaps I can make temporary repairs. Sam watched in fascination as Cora used all 4 of her hands, working with delicate precision on the tiny components. She hummed softly as she worked, a sound that seemed to vibrate the air around them. There, she said finally. The damage is not permanent, but the device will only function at half capacity. I can maintain human appearance, but not for as long as before. Sam sat across from her. Those people. How did they know about us? They must have been watching the government building. Cora suggested. They saw us meet with the governor. What are we going to do? Sam asked. We must warn the governor. Cora said. Terra Prime is more organized than the authorities believe. The attack at the port was only the beginning. Sam nodded, but before he could respond, his comm device buzzed. It was Denise from the port. Sam, he heard her say urgently. Where are you? We need you at the port immediately. What's happened? Sam asked. Another security breach, she replied. But worse this time. They've locked down the main control center. We need everyone. With security clearance, we'll be right there, Sam said. He looked at Cora. Can you maintain your disguise long enough? I will manage, she replied. They hurried back to the port, which was now surrounded by security vehicles. People were being evacuated. While armed officers stood guard at the entrances, Denise met them at the staff entrance. Her face was tight with worry. The main systems are down, she explained. Someone accessed the environmental controls. They're threatening to shut off life support. To the alien quarter of the colony, Sam felt sick. That would kill hundreds of non-humans. How did they get in? Cora asked. They had valid security codes. Denise said it has to be an inside job, Governor. Marsh arrived surrounded by security. She spotted Sam and Cora and motioned them over. Mr. Jones, she said, her voice low. We need your help. The terrorists are demanding that all non-human species leave the colony within 24 hours, or they'll cut life support to the alien quarter. Why me? Sam asked. I'm just a dock worker. You saved the port once, the governor said. And you have a Xerillian guardian. The terrorists specifically asked for you to be their negotiator. Sam looked at Cora in confusion. They want to use you as a symbol. Cora explained. They see you as a human who sides with aliens. This is too dangerous, Sam protested. I'm not trained for this. Sometimes the best negotiators are those without training, Governor Marsh said. They see your humanity, not your authority. Sam took a deep breath. All right, what do I need to do? The governor led them to a communications terminal. The terrorists have control of the main environmental system, but they're willing to talk. Show them that cooperation between species is possible. Sam stood before the terminal, feeling completely unprepared. Cora stood slightly behind him, her human disguise holding but looking strained. The screen flickered and a masked face appeared. Sam Jones, the figure said. The human who loves aliens more than his own kind. I'm here too. Talk, Sam said, trying to keep his voice steady. You don't need to hurt anyone. The masked person laughed. The aliens are already hurting us, taking our jobs, our homes, our future. Humanity needs to stand alone. Sam shook his head. That's not true. We're stronger together. All species bring different skills, different perspectives. The terrorist leaned closer to the camera. You've been brainwashed by alien propaganda. Humans built these colonies. We did the hard work. Sam thought, quickly remembering what Cora had told him about the Xerillian view of the universe. Have you ever considered that the universe is about balance, he said. All species, all worlds connected, each playing their part. The terrorists seemed surprised by this approach. The Xerillians call it the greater harmony. Sam continued. Even Earth's ecosystems work the same way, different species filling different roles, creating something greater than themselves. Sam could feel Cora's surprise behind him. The masked figure was silent for a moment. Then why do they look down on us? Treat us like we're primitive. Not all do, Sam said. Just as not all humans think the same. Some Xerillians respect humans greatly. He gestured toward Cora, who risked her life to save humans at the port. The terrorist seemed to consider this. I still believe humans should stand alone. But perhaps he paused. We can find a different way to make our point. Sam saw his opening. I understand you're afraid of losing what makes us human, but isolation isn't the answer. Let me come talk to you, face to face. No tricks. The masked figure was silent, considering. Sam continued. Think about what you're doing. Cutting life support would kill hundreds, including children. Is that really the message you want to send? After a long pause, the terrorist replied. Fine. Come to the control center alone. We'll talk. The transmission ended. Governor Marsh looked at Sam with new respect. Well done, Mr. Jones. But I can't let you go in there alone. I won't be alone, Sam said, looking at Cora. Cora will come with me. The governor frowned. They specifically said alone. They'll never know Cora's with me, Sam explained. She can hide outside the control room. If anything goes wrong, she can help. Cora nodded. I will protect Sam no matter what. The governor reluctantly agreed. A security team escorted them as close to the control center as possible, without being detected. Cora pulled Sam aside before he entered. I do not like this plan, she said. They cannot be trusted. I know, Sam replied. But we have to. Cora touched her wristband. I will maintain position outside. When you are inside, I will drop my disguise to conserve power. If you need me, say the word harmony. They will not understand its significance. Sam nodded, touching her arm briefly. Thank you. He approached the control center door alone. The security systems recognized his clearance and the door slid open. Inside, 5 masked figures waited. One sat at the main console, clearly controlling the environmental systems. Welcome, Sam Jones 1, said the human who thinks he understands aliens. Sam stepped inside, keeping his hands visible. I'm here to talk, not to judge. The lead terrorist gestured to a chair. Sit. Tell us why we shouldn't follow through with our plan. Sam sat down carefully. What? Do you hope to achieve a pure human colony? The terrorist leader replied. A place where humanity can develop without alien influence. Sam looked around the room. Do you know how many systems in this control center were developed with alien technology? The air scrubbers are based on Xerillian biology. The water recycling uses Andorian filtration methods. Even the chairs we're sitting on use padding developed for Xerian spinal structures. The terrorists exchanged glances. We've already been influenced, Sam continued. And we're better for it. Just as other species have benefited from human ingenuity. It's not the same one, terrorist argued. They're taking over. Sam shook his head. No, they're not. The colony census shows humans still make up 70% of the population, and most leadership positions are held by humans. How do you know all this? The leader asked suspiciously. I pay attention, Sam said. And I've spent time with different species lately. I've learned a lot. One of the terrorists moved closer. To Sam, you actually believe humans and aliens can live together equally? Sam met their gaze. I do, because I've seen it work. The Xerillian who stopped your people at the port. She could have killed them, but she chose to disarm them instead. She respects life. All life. The room fell silent. And what about our lives? The leader asked quietly. Our culture, our traditions. The control room fell silent as Cora stood in her full Xerillian glory. Her purple skin glowed faintly in the dim emergency lighting. Her 4 arms remained ready, but she made no move to attack further. The Terra Prime leader stared at her with a mixture of fear and fascination. You tricked us, he said to Sammy. Brought help, Sam replied. We need to end this peacefully. Cora moved to stand beside Sam. I heard your words, human, she said. Addressing the leader. You lost your position to a Xerian. This is unfortunate, but your response threatens innocent lives, including those of children. Would your own children be proud of such actions? The leader flinched at her words. Another terrorist spoke up. She's manipulating you. Hal, don't listen. Hal, the leader, raised his hand for silence. I want to hear what the alien has to say. Cora stepped forward slowly. My people have a saying. Even the mightiest star exists in harmony with the void that surrounds it. Neither can exist without the other. So it is with all species. We may be different, but we are connected. Hal looked at the control console where the life support systems for the alien quarters still hung in the balance. One button would cut off oxygen recycling to hundreds of non-human residents. Sam watched anxiously as Hal struggled with his decision. I have children too, Cora said suddenly. Her voice was softer now. My youngest is what you would call 5 cycles old. She asks about humans constantly. She finds your species fascinating. Hal looked up surprised. We are not so different, Cora continued. We love our young. We seek meaning in our lives. We fear what we do not understand. One of the other terrorists, A woman stepped forward, removing her mask. You expect us to believe you care about humans? After what your people did to the Newark colony, Sam looked at Cora confused. The Xyrillian government expressed deep regret for the Newark incident. Cora replied, those responsible were punished severely. What happened at Newark? Sam asked. The woman sneered. He doesn't even know how 3 years ago. A Xyrillian ship opened fire on a human outpost at Newark, killed 37 colonists, claimed it was a navigation error. Is this true? Sam asked. Cora's luminescent hair tendrils dimmed slightly, a sign of sadness Sam had learned. It is true, she admitted. A military vessel commander made a terrible decision. He believed the outpost was preparing to attack a Xyrillian settlement. He was wrong, and my people have worked to make amends ever since. Hal looked between Cora and his fellow terrorists. I lost my cousin at Newark, he said quietly. I am truly sorry for your loss, Cora said. My people mourn this tragedy as well. Sam stepped forward carefully toward the control console. Look at what you're about to do, he said to Hal. Would killing hundreds of innocent non-humans honor your cousin's memory? Would it make anything better? The woman terrorist spoke again. We just want humans to be treated fairly, to have the same opportunities as the aliens. That's a goal we can work toward, Sam said. But not like this. Hal stood silently for a long moment. Then he pressed a series of commands on the console. The warning lights turned green. Life support systems returned to normal operation. What are you doing? The woman demanded, choosing a different path. Hal replied softly. He looked at Sam. This doesn't mean I've given up fighting for humans, but not like this. Not by becoming monsters. The door to the control center opened again as security forces rushed in. Governor Marsh followed, weapons raised. Stand down, the governor ordered, seeing the situation was under control. The Terra Prime members surrendered without further resistance. As they were led away, Hal paused near Sam. This isn't over, he said quietly. The issues remain. Others will take up the cause. Sam nodded. I understand, but next time let's talk first, not threaten lives. Governor Marsh approached Sam and Cora with an expression of amazement. You two are quite the team, she said. The first human Xyrillian negotiation team in colonial history. Sam shrugged. We just did what anyone would do. Cora made a sound that Sam recognized as the Xyrillian equivalent of laughter. There you go again, she said. Governor Marsh became serious. The Colonial Council is meeting tomorrow to discuss the rising tensions between species. I'd like you both to attend. Sam looked surprised. Me? I'm just a dock worker. You're more than that. Mr. Jones, the governor replied. You've shown remarkable ability to bridge understanding between species. We need that right now. Cora bowed slightly in the Xyrillian manner. It would be an honor after the governor left. Sam turned to Cora. Is what they said about Newark? True. Cora's expression grew solemn. Yes, it is our deepest shame. A military commander let fear cloud his judgment. Many Xyrillians have worked to make amends since then. Why didn't you tell me? Sam asked. Cora looked away. You seem to trust my people so readily. I did not wish to destroy that trust. And she hesitated. It does not reflect who we truly are. Sam thought about this for a moment. I understand, he said finally. We all have dark chapters in our history. Cora seemed relieved. Thank you, Sam. The next morning they prepared for the Colonial Council meeting. Sam had never been inside the Grand Council chamber. It was designed to accommodate all species with adjustable seating temperature controls in various atmospheric settings. Cora wore her human disguise, though it clearly strained her council members from a dozen. Worlds filled the chamber. Their voices created a strange symphony of sounds as different translation devices worked simultaneously. Governor Marsh called the session to order. First, I want to acknowledge the brave actions of Sam Jones and Cora of Xyrill, who prevented what could have been a terrible tragedy yesterday. The council members applauded, though Sam noticed some human representatives did so with less enthusiasm. We must address the growing tensions between humans and non-human species, the governor continued. This is the third incident this month. A human councilman stood. The issue isn't just prejudice. Governor, its economic resources are stretched thin. Humans feel they're losing opportunities to off-worlders. An Andorian representative rose next, their blue skin shimmering under the lights. And non-humans face discrimination daily in human majority areas. Our children are harassed. Our businesses vandalized. The chamber erupted in arguments from all sides. Sam watched with growing concern as the divisions became more apparent. Governor Marsh called for order. Please, she said. We must find a way forward together. A Zarian councilwoman spoke, her voice translated through a device. My suggestion is separation. Designated areas for each species with limited interaction. No, Sam said loudly before he could stop himself. All eyes turned to him. Governor Marsh nodded. Please, Mr. Jones, share your thoughts. Sam stood feeling incredibly out of place, but he remembered what Cora had told him about the greater harmony. Separation isn't the answer, he began. That's what Terra Prime wants. Dividing us further will only increase fear and misunderstanding. What do you suggest? A human councilman asked, skeptically. Integration. Sam replied, not just living side by side, but working together, learning from each other, creating something new together. Cerulean Council member looked at Cora. What does your guardian think of this human's ideas? Cora stepped forward. My people have a concept called the greater harmony, the belief that all things are connected in balance. Sam Jones understands this better than many Ceruleans. The council chamber went quiet. Yesterday, Sam continued. Terra Prime nearly killed hundreds of non-humans, but it wasn't weapons or threats that stopped them. It was understanding a human and a Cerulean working together, found common ground. Governor Marsh nodded. Continue, Mr. Jones. Look around this room, Sam said. All of us evolved on different worlds with different atmospheres, different biologies, different ways of thinking. Yet here we are trying to build something together. That's remarkable. When we work together, we achieve more than any species could alone. The chamber was silent as his words sank in. But how do we address the economic concerns? The human councilman asked. Jobs are limited resources. Too, Sam thought of Hal and his story. I suggest a colony-wide review of hiring practices to ensure fairness, but also training programs to help humans and non-humans develop skills for new industries and cultural exchange programs. Cora added suddenly, all species should learn about each other, not just facts, but art, music, traditions. The council began discussing these ideas with growing enthusiasm. Governor Marsh looked at Sam with approval as the conversation shifted from blame to solutions as the council session continued. Sam found himself drawn into detailed discussions. He was surprised by how much he had to contribute. Even more surprising was how council members from all species seemed to value his perspective. After several hours, the council voted to create a new integration initiative. A committee would be formed to implement many of Sam and Cora's suggestions. Governor Marsh approached them as the session ended. That was impressive, she said. I'd like to offer you both positions as special advisors to the colonial government. Sam was stunned. Me? An advisor? You have a unique perspective, the governor said. And clearly a talent for diplomacy. I'm just a dock worker. Sam protested. Cora placed a hand on his shoulder. That is not all you are. Sam Jones. The governor smiled. Think about it. The offer stands. Now, if you'll excuse me. As they left the council chamber, Sam felt overwhelmed by everything that had happened in just a few days. I don't know if I can do this, he said to Cora. Be an advisor, I'm not qualified. Cora tilted her head. You humans always doubt yourselves even in the face of clear evidence. You have already done what others thought impossible. Sam smiled slightly. I guess I have a CAD. Sam and Cora rushed to the spaceport where a sleek Cerulean vessel had docked. Its smooth purple hull gleamed under the landing pad lights, much larger and more impressive than the scout ship that had crashed. What does this mean? Sam asked as they hurried through security. Her mission being unauthorized, Cora looked troubled. I did not exactly follow proper protocols when I came to find you. Life debts are sacred, but there are procedures. A group of colonial officials, including Governor Marsh, waited near the ship's main airlock. As Sam and Cora approached, the airlock cycled open. 3 tall Xyrillians emerged. Their skin was a deeper shade of purple than Cora's, and they wore elaborate silver garments that caught the light in hypnotic patterns. The tallest stepped forward, her silver eyes scanning the group until they landed on Cora, Guardian Cora of House Vela. She said, her voice carrying the musical quality all Xyrillians shared. "You have acted without authorization." Cora bowed low, her forearms crossed in a formal gesture. "High Elder Mira. I accept responsibility for my actions." Elder Mira turned to Governor Marsh. "I apologize for any disruption Guardian Cora has caused. She will return with us, immediately." "Wait," Sam interrupted. Stepping forward, "Cora saved our colony. She stopped terrorists from killing hundreds of people." The elder's gaze shifted to Sam, assessing him. "You must be the human she claimed a life debt to." Governor Marsh spoke up. "High Elder Mira, Cora, and Sam Jones have been invaluable to colonial security. They've helped bridge understanding between our species. We were hoping to appoint them as special advisors." The elder's expression remained unreadable to Sam, though Cora seemed to tense beside him. Guardian Cora left Xyril without completing the proper diplomatic procedures, Elder Mira said. "Life debts are sacred, yes, but they must be properly registered, especially when they involve other worlds." Governor Marsh frowned. "Are you saying her presence here violates some treaty?" The second Xyrillian, a male with intricate patterns etched into his skin, stepped forward. "Not exactly, Governor, but it creates complications. Our government cannot officially sanction actions we were not informed of." Cora spoke. "I accept full responsibility, High Elder. I did not wish to wait for bureaucratic approval when a life debt was at stake." Sam could sense the tension between Cora and the Xyrillian officials. There seemed to be something more going on than a simple matter of paperwork. Elder Mira gestured to Cora. "Come, we will discuss this aboard our vessel." Sam moved closer to Cora. "I'm coming too," he said. "This involves me." The elder looked surprised. "A human aboard a Xyrillian diplomatic vessel, that is highly unusual, Governor." Marsh seized the opportunity. "I believe this could be an important precedent for human-Xyrillian relations," she suggested. "If we're to move forward with greater cooperation." Elder Mira seemed to consider this. Finally, she nodded. "Very well. The human may accompany us, but only the human." Governor Marsh looked like she wanted to object, but Sam caught her eye and shook his head slightly. It would be better to not push too hard. The interior of the Xyrillian ship was unlike anything Sam had ever seen. The walls seemed almost alive, pulsing with subtle light. The air was thicker and carried unfamiliar scents. They were led to a chamber with a large circular table. The elders sat on one side while Sam and Cora sat opposite. Guardian Cora, "You have violated protocol." Elder Mira began. "Life debts must be registered with the High Council before action is taken. This has been our way for 10,000 years. Cora kept her posture formal. "I understood the urgency of the situation. The human Sam Jones saved 3 of our people at great risk to himself." The male elder leaned forward. "And yet you not only came to this colony unauthorized, you revealed yourself to humans. You participated in their politics. You interfered in a human conflict." Sam felt his temper rising. "She saved lives," he said. "How can that be wrong?" The third elder, who had remained silent until now, spoke. Her voice was gentler. "The issue, Guardian, Cora, is not what you did, but how you did it. The High Council has been negotiating delicate matters with the Earth Colonial Authority. Your unilateral actions complicated these negotiations." Sam looked at Cora, who seemed genuinely surprised by this. "What negotiations?" he asked. Elder Mira shot a warning look at the third elder, then sighed. "The Newark incident has left relations strained. We have been working toward a formal peace treaty. A key point of contention has been Xyrillian presence in human colonies." Suddenly, Sam understood Cora's unauthorized presence could be seen as a provocation. By some humans, especially groups like Terra Prime Cora, straightened her posture. I was unaware of these negotiations, High Elder, but my actions were guided by the greater harmony. As the human Sam would say, I did what anyone would do. Sam recognized his own words and felt a surge of pride that Cora had adopted. The Elder Mira studied them both. The High Council has received reports of your activities, your intervention with the human extremists, your participation in their colonial council, the Harmony Stone gifted to a human. She gestured to Sam. This is unprecedented. The third elder spoke again. Perhaps that is exactly what we needed. Mira. Something unprecedented. The formal negotiations have stalled for months, yet these two achieved more understanding in days. Elder Mira's expression softened slightly. Nevertheless, Guardian Cora must return to Zeril. The High Council requires her presence. No, Sam said, standing. I don't know much about Zerillian law, but I know Cora swore to protect me for a full Earth year. Her life debt isn't fulfilled yet. The chamber fell silent at his outburst. The male elder spoke, his voice cold. Human, you do not understand our ways. A life debt can be transferred to another guardian if the High Council deems it necessary. Cora rose to stand beside Sam. My duty is to Sam Jones, I cannot abandon it. Elder Mira studied them both. You have formed a bond, she observed. We have, Sam replied. We've learned from each other, helped each other. The third elder leaned forward, speaking softly to Elder Mira. This could be useful. Mira. The human clearly respects our ways. He wears a harmony stone. Their unity could serve as a symbol for the treaty. Elder Mira considered this for a long moment, then made a decision. We will return to the colony and speak with Governor Marsh. There may be a way to resolve this situation that serves both our peoples. The return to the spaceport terminal was tense. Governor Marsh waited with several colonial officials. Elder Mira approached the governor. We have a proposal, she said. We will allow Guardian Cora to remain to fulfill her life debt to Sam Jones. Governor Marsh smiled. That's excellent news, but Elder Mira continued. She will also serve as an official Zerillian representative to the colony. This way her presence is sanctioned by the High Council, and the human Sam Jones will be recognized as her official human counterpart. Sam was surprised by this turn of events. This would create the first formal diplomatic exchange between our peoples, the elder explained. Since the Newark incident, Governor Marsh looked thoughtful. This aligns with our plan to appoint them as special advisors, not quite, Elder Mira corrected. This would make them official diplomats, a direct line between our world. Sam felt overwhelmed. Me, a diplomat? I don't have any training. The third elder smiled at him. Sometimes the best diplomats are those who speak from the heart, not from training. Governor Marsh extended her hand to Elder Mira. We accept your proposal. This is a historic moment for both our peoples, as arrangements were made. Sam pulled Cora aside. Did you know this would happen? Cora shook her head. I expected to be returned to Zeril in disgrace, not appointed as a diplomat. Sam laughed softly. Life is full of surprises. Later that evening, as they returned to Sam's apartment, Cora seemed deep in thought. What's wrong? Sam asked. Cora hesitated. I did not tell you everything about why I came to find you. Sam waited for her to continue. After the crash, she said. I was the only guardian among the survivors. The life debt was real, but she paused. I also had another reason. I was curious about humans. Especially after what happened at Newark. I wanted to understand. Sam smiled. That's completely understandable. Cora continued. The High Council would never have approved my request to study humans directly, so I used the life debt as my reason. Sam felt touched by her honesty. And what have you learned about humans? Cora's eyes met his. You are contradictory beings. You claim to value logic yet act on emotion. You speak of peace yet prepare for conflict. You fear what you do not understand yet seek out the unknown. And is that bad? Sam asked. Cora shook her head. No, it is fascinating. Zerillians, Seek perfect harmony, perfect balance. We can become rigid in our thinking. Humans adapt, change, evolve. Your contradictions make you flexible. Sam laughed. I never thought of it that way. The next morning they reported to the government building where new offices had been prepared for them as official diplomats. The Xyrillian ship remained in orbit, a visible symbol of the changing relationship between the species. Governor Marsh greeted them with news. The Colonial Council voted unanimously to support your diplomatic appointments, and the Earth Colonial Authority has responded positively to the Xyrillian proposal. Sam felt the weight of responsibility settling on him. So what exactly do we do now? Marsh handed them both official credentials. You build bridges, she said. Simply continue doing what you've already been doing. But with official backing, their first task was to develop a cultural exchange program. Schools throughout the colony would learn about both human and Xyrillian traditions. Sam worked with human educators while Cora coordinated with Xyrillian experts. Sam felt his blood run cold. What do you mean, the real target? The Terra Prime woman smiled coldly. A team is already at the spaceport. Your alien friends won't be signing any treaties. Cora immediately activated her comm device. Elder Mira, this is Cora. Terra Prime is targeting the diplomatic vessel. Static was the only response. They've jammed communications, the woman said smugly. Sam grabbed her by the shoulders. Tell me what they're planning. She just laughed. Cora placed a hand on Sam's arm. We must get to the spaceport. What about her? Sam asked, nodding toward the Terra Prime woman. Security will find her. Cora said this is more urgent. They raced back through the facility, avoiding the areas where fighting continued. An emergency exit led them outside, where they commandeered a transport vehicle. Sam drove recklessly toward the spaceport, his mind racing with terrible possibilities. The Xyrillian diplomatic vessel contained not just Elder Mira but the entire delegation. If something happened to them, it could destroy any hope of peace. The spaceport came into view, its landing pads illuminated against the darkening sky. The sleek purple hull of the Xyrillian vessel stood out prominently. Everything looks normal, Sam said hopefully. Cora shook her head. No security, that's wrong. There should be guards. Sam parked the transport and they rushed toward the landing pad. A single security officer lay unconscious near the entrance. Cora checked him quickly. Stunned, not killed. They need to get close to the ship, Sam realized. Without raising alarms, they moved cautiously toward the Xyrillian vessel. The boarding ramp was down, but no one was visible. Cora suddenly stopped, her silver eyes widening. They've planted something on the hull, Sam followed her gaze but saw nothing. How can you tell Xyrillian ships are partially organic? Cora explained. They respond to foreign objects. I can see the disturbance pattern. They need to warn the Xyrillians inside, Sam said. But how? Cora touched her wrist device. My communicator might work at close range before she could activate it. Movement caught their attention. 3 figures in port worker uniforms emerged from beneath the ship. One carried what looked like a control device, Terra Prime. Sam whispered. Cora nodded. We must stop them before they detonate whatever they've placed. The figures were moving away from the ship, clearly finished with their task. Sam made a quick decision. You warn the ship, I'll follow them. Cora hesitated. My duty is to protect you, Sam met her gaze. Your duty is to the greater harmony right now. Go. Cora nodded and moved swiftly toward the ship while Sam followed the Terra Prime members at a distance. They didn't seem to be in a hurry, walking casually as if they were regular port workers finishing a shift. Sam stayed in the shadows, keeping them in sight. They entered a small maintenance building near the edge of the landing field. Sam crept closer, positioning himself near a window where he could hear voices. We've got 10 minutes, one said. Then boom, no more alien diplomats, another voice responded. What about the humans on board? Collateral damage, the first voice said coldly. They chose their side. Sam had heard enough. He needed to get back to the ship to help Cora. As he turned to leave, his foot knocked against a metal tool, making a loud clang. The voices inside went silent. Then the door burst open and 2 Terra Prime members emerged, weapons drawn. Look what we have here, one said, spotting Sam, the alien, loving dock worker. Sam raised his hand slowly. I heard everything. Your plan won't work. The taller one laughed. And why is that? Security already knows. Sam bluffed. They're evacuating the ship right now. The Terra Prime members exchanged nervous glances. You're lying. The shorter one said. Do you want to take that chance? Sam asked. With murder charges waiting if you're wrong. The taller one raised his weapon. I say we finish him and get out of here. A flash of purple appeared behind them. Cora, in her full Xyrillian form, moved with incredible speed, disarming both men before they could react. She lifted them effortlessly with her forearms. The ship? Sam asked urgently. Safe. Cora replied. Elder Mira is evacuating everyone. The explosive devices have been located. The sound of security. Alarms filled the air as colonial forces arrived surrounding the maintenance building. Sam exhaled with relief. It's over. The aftermath unfolded rapidly. Security teams dismantled the explosive devices, which experts confirmed would have caused catastrophic damage to the Xyrillian vessel and surrounding areas. The remaining Terra Prime members were captured, including their leader Dale, who had orchestrated the attack. 3 days later, Sam and Cora were called to a special session of the Colonial Council. Governor Marsh and Elder Mira presided together, a visual symbol of cooperation. Today marks a turning point, Governor Marsh announced. The treaty between Earth colonies and the Xyrillian Consortium has been signed. Applause filled the chamber, though. Sam noticed some human representatives remained reserved. Elder Mira stood, her tall form commanding attention. Recent events have shown both the challenges and promise of our cooperation, she said. Many sought to prevent this day through violence and fear. She looked directly at Sam and Cora, but others showed us a better path. The governor continued. We have much work ahead. The treaty establishes joint committees on trade security, cultural exchange, and more, and leading our diplomatic efforts, Elder Mira added, will be those who have already proven the value of cooperation. Sam Jones and Guardian Cora Sam felt a mixture of pride and nervousness as applause filled the chamber. Cora stood tall beside him, her human disguise set aside for this formal occasion. After the ceremony, Governor Marsh approached them. Both your governments have approved permanent diplomatic status, she said. This is no longer a temporary assignment. Sam was stunned. Permanent, I never imagined. The governor smiled. Sometimes the best paths are those we don't plan. She handed them official credentials. This makes it formal. As they left the government building, Sam felt the weight of the Harmony Stone in his pocket. He had carried it with him since receiving it from the Xyrillian child. Cora noticed his pensive mood. What troubles you, Sam Jones? You should be celebrating. Sam shook his head. I'm just thinking about how much has changed in such a short time. A few weeks ago, I was just loading cargo. Now I'm a diplomat. Cora made the musical sound of Xyrillian laughter. The universe unfolds as it should, sometimes rapidly. Sam smiled. You and your greater harmony. I am not the only one who believes in it. Now, Cora observed, you wear the Harmony Stone. She gestured. To his pocket, Sam pulled out the crystal. It seems appropriate somehow. They walked in companionable silence for a while. Sam finally asked, so what happens with the life debt now? That I'm a diplomat and you're officially assigned here? Cora considered. This, as I told you before, when a life debt evolves beyond duty, it becomes a life bond. In our tradition, such bonds are not limited by time. Sam stopped walking. You mean you'd stay? Even after the Earth year, if that is agreeable, Cora replied. There is much work to be done. Much to learn from each other. Sam smiled. I'd like that very much. Their conversation was interrupted by Sam's comm device. A message from Elder Mira requested their immediate presence aboard the Xyrillian ship, which remained in orbit. What do you think this is about? Sam asked as they boarded the shuttle to the orbiting vessel. Cora looked thoughtful. Elder Mira rarely acts without purpose. The Xyrillian ship was even more impressive from orbit. Its organic design blending seamlessly with advanced technology. Elder Mira greeted them in what appeared to be a ceremonial chamber. Other Xyrillians stood in formation around the room. Sam Jones. Elder Mira said formally, The High Council has reviewed your actions during recent events. You have shown exceptional understanding of the greater harmony despite not being raised in our traditions. Sam bowed slightly. Thank you, Elder Mira continued. In recognition of this, the High Council has granted you a rare honor. She gestured, and another Xyrillian stepped forward, bearing what looked like a small silver device similar to the one Cora wore on her wrist. This molecular stabilizer has been modified for human use. Elder Mira explained. It will allow you to visit. Xyril Sam was. Stunned humans aren't allowed on the Xyrillian homeworld. Until now, Mira confirmed. The treaty includes a provision for diplomatic exchange. But you would be the first. Cora seemed as surprised as Sam. This is unprecedented, Elder, she said. Elder Mira's expression softened. Sometimes unprecedented actions yield the greatest harmony. Sam accepted the device with reverence. I'm honored. The elder turned to Cora Guardian. Cora of House Vela. Your actions were once questioned. Now they are celebrated. The High Council recognizes your life bond with Sam Jones and grants it formal status. Cora bowed deeply, her forearms crossed in the traditional gesture. We leave tomorrow for Xyril, Elder. Mira continued. We would be honored if you both would join us. You could return on the next diplomatic vessel in one lunar cycle. Sam looked at Cora, who nodded slightly. We would be honored. Sam replied the next morning as they prepared to depart. Sam stood at the viewport of the shuttle watching the colony grow, smaller below. The place that had been his entire world was now just the beginning of a much larger journey. Cora joined him, her tall form casting a shadow across the viewport. Are you ready for this? Sam Jones. Xyril is very different from your world, Sam smiled, thinking about everything that had happened since that night when an alien woman had blocked his path claiming to owe him a life. Two different beings from different worlds had found common ground against all odds. I'm ready, he said, I think. Humans and Xyrillians still have much to learn from each other.